Hi, thank you for stopping by. Before we begin, I just want to give a brief introduction to myself and to my passion. I have been studying archaeology since the age of 11. I'm one of those rare people who knew exactly what they wanted to be when they grew up. I went to Boston University as an undergrad, and I studied archaeology there, as well as classical history and art history. While at Boston University, I studied Mesoamerican archaeology and other pre-Columbian cultures and cultural property as well. Now, Mesoamerica refers to a region that includes the countries of Mexico, Guatemala, Belize, Honduras, and El Salvador. And the other pre-Columbian cultures I looked at were those along the Andes, such as the Inca. But my passion within the field of archaeology specifically relates to the ethics in archaeology and cultural property. Within the field of cultural property, I examined the antiquities trade and other aspects such as looting and repatriation. As a graduate student at George Washington University, I specifically looked at looting and repatriation and the market. I wrote my master's thesis on repatriation. But most of you might be familiar with the term repatriation when we discuss Native American cultures and the request for the return of human remains. But I specifically looked at repatriation between institutions and source countries. Source countries being those countries of origin for artifacts. For example, some Roman artifacts you would expect to originate in Italy, although there's a dispute about that. But one that's easy is Egyptian antiquity, most likely originated in Egypt, so Egypt would be the source country. And Inca artifacts most likely originated in Peru, so Peru is often the source country disputing the return. So I looked specifically at a collection at the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston called the November Collection. The November Collection is a collection of mostly Maya artifacts gifted to the museum by a gentleman named Landon T. Clay. And a little bit over a decade, in 1997, there was a whole debate over whether or not the museum should return the artifacts to Guatemala. But of course, as I mentioned briefly with the Roman artifacts, they can be from different source countries. The Roman Empire didn't just span Italy. Maya artifacts didn't just span Guatemala. So the Museum of Fine Arts did not return the artifacts to Guatemala. There's also the whole dispute over the legality of the collection. And the Museum of Fine Arts most likely has legal claim to the collection. But that's going too much in detail. What I did for my thesis for looking at the November collection is I compared this quote-unquote unsuccessful return or repatriation, meaning the country did not get back the artifacts, to two successful cases. Another one involving the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, but with Italy, and the return of a bunch of statues and other artifacts, and the Yale Peabody Museum and the recent case of its returning the Machu Picchu collection. In fact, it's about a little bit over 2 years since the Yale University agreed to return the collection, and in about a month it will mark the anniversary of when Peru actually got the artifacts back. So that's just a little bit about me. And I hope to discuss other cases of repatriation and cultural property issues such as looting of archaeological sites, the antiquities trade, meaning looted material on the market sold to collectors. And what I mean by looting is I mean unscientific excavation, meaning some person goes out with a shovel or a pickaxe and starts digging around for something to sell on the art market. I also discuss other aspects of cultural property and or cultural heritage, such as other aspects of destroying cultural sites. So I hope you would continue coming back to read my blog and watch some more videos. And thank you for stopping by again.